Hello, everybody. Still talking about the book by the so-called evil genius, uh, Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida. I am live with one of the veterans who are conversant with history and can tell their own version of the stories. I'm with Barrister Femi Aborisade. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Thanks very much for having me, Shegun.
Yeah, you're quite welcome, sir. So, the past few days we have seen people talking variously about their own opinions on the book released by former military head of state Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida, who finally came out to confess that MK Abiola actually won the election and then tried to share the blames uh, across, including claiming that Abacha was the one who actually spearheaded the annulment. Uh, Sir, we saw a number of people who are so-called Democrats. There's the president of Nigeria, former president, former vice president. A lot of people in this democracy are relevant. They were there to cheer the general on, and then even raised a lot of money to the tune of billions to reward the general on occasion of launching his book and the proposal to build a presidential library for himself. Sir, what is your own immediate view to this event, this development so far?
Well, I think that the book launch by IBB, the evil genius, the Maradona,
I guess it's network glitch. Could that be network or is device? So if you're just joining, I have Barrister Femi Aborisade, who is reacting to revelations and confessions made in the book by IBB. Okay, we have him back. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yes.
Okay.
So my own position is that those who are praising IBB, they are the crowd of IBB. They are the supporters of IBB. To them, IBB is a hero. From the point of view of the Nigerian people, IBB is a tyrannical villain, a tyrant, an enemy of the people. I see all over IBB whenever he appears on television. I see all over him bloodstains of thousands that lost their lives, of several people that disappeared, of those who were killed in the struggle for the actualization of June 12. So I see blood of innocent people who had to fight for the democratic mandate of the Nigerian people and who were killed, who lost their freedom, who disappeared. Those people like the late Kokori, apart from MK Abiola himself, after 4 years of incarceration, without access to the sun, without access to the corridor of his cell, he was murdered. So I see a book written by someone who has publicly now confessed to a crime, that he committed a crime, and is merely shedding crocodile tears. IBB is insincere. His apologies should be rejected. So he's been cheered on by his own crowd. He remains the hero of his own, of people he made, either in terms of occupying political office now, or those he made in terms of being enriched through illicit means. Those who have contributed billions They are merely paying back what they earned illegally from his reign of terror.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So, in a nutshell, you are simply saying that that book, you are discountenancing it, even when it is coming at a time people feel well, it is only coming to make maybe restitution, maybe confession, maybe as remorse. Is there a place for remorse, and is there a place for forgiveness in circumstances like this, sir?
No, how can you forgive someone who deliberately annulled the democratic mandate of the Nigerian people, who scuttled, aborted the democratic process, who imposed himself on Nigeria and Nigerians, who wanted to remain in power in perpetuity? No, IBB is merely responding to the overwhelming pressure of the Nigerian people. His pleadings to be rejected. It deserves to be put on trial. It deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. We reject his apologies. He has caused
Well,
monumental disservice, monumental damage to the Nigerian people.
well, he
So
said that
we
even
reject his apologies.
Well, he said that even despite all of those things that happened at the time, that Nigeria at least survived, and democracy eventually still came, and that so somehow that simply means that regardless of whatever he committed, I mean, Nigeria still has a lot to be grateful for. You don't see it that way, sir?
No. The question is, at what cost? At what cost? And then the people supporting him, they show the quality of the kind of civil rule that we have today, the quality. I mean, since the regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria has been turned upside down. It's as if we have never been in this country before. People are in unprecedented agony. Poverty, pervasive poverty, in the midst of plenty. Monumental corruption, in the midst of plenty. No, the people have been excluded politically and economically. So at what cost? Nigeria survived, yes, physically, but so many people are under pains and agony, caused partly by the reign of terror of President of IBB, the evil genius.
So the present president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was one of the leaders of pro-democracy movement, NADECO at the time. And if you recall, MQ Abiola's election mantra or slogan at the time was, campaign slogan at the time was Hope 93. Hope 93. And as one of the people who supported MQ Abiola at the time, or one of the followers of MQ Abiola, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in 2023 to say, okay, renewed hope. Would you say that even if MQ Abiola had become the kind of programs Tinubu has right now is still the blueprint or kind of template from MQ Abiola at the time, and it will still not have been different anyways? Hope 93,
No,
renewed hope 2023.
no. First of all, let me make certain clarification. I was not a supporter of MQ Abiola.
No, I'm
But
talking
I
about
supported the struggle to actualize the democratic mandate of Nigerian people. We supported that struggle, with a view to putting an end to military dictatorship.
military. Absolutely.
And we were making it absolutely clear that if MQ Abiola were sworn in and he started implementing policies that were anti the interests of the people, we would be in the forefront of opposing him. So our own support was conditional. Was conditional on the basis of the program of Chief M.K.O. Abiola, which was farewell to poverty. It is different from the renewed hope of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who already, even when he was campaigning, said that no matter how much people may protest against the removal of fuel subsidy, he will remove fuel subsidy. And he has gone ahead to do so. Therefore, the program of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is miles apart from that of M.K.O. Abiola, who promised farewell to poverty. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, by his threat, which he has implemented to remove fuel subsidy, promised to increase the poverty of the people. There is no pretension on his part at all. And he has done so. And people are going through unprecedented pains, economic pains, and agony. So there are two words. The renewed hope of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should actually be called renewed hardship, because Nigeria has never known the kind of hardship the poor people are going through under the regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Sir, presently, if somebody makes a confessional statement, there are either of two things, depending on the attitude of the people who are listening to him or who are paying attention. It is either forgiveness or punishment. For your own view, sir, if we look through your lens, IBB has come out to confess. What do you think should follow that confession?
Yeah, thanks so much. He has come out to confess to the crime he committed, against the Nigerian people, annulling their democratic mandate. He should now be told to be prepared to bear the consequences of that confession. It shouldn't be that I have confessed, so let me go on enjoying my life in my house. It deserves to be in prison for life. And all the illicit material gains, wealth, possessions he has made legitimately to be seized from him, including the over 17 billion that has been donated to the so-called presidential library. He should give such up to provide the basic needs of the Nigerian people who are hungry. Many young people are unable to fund their education. Many people are unable to fund their medical care. Such resources should be taken from him if he's not prepared to release them voluntarily. But if they're not taken from him, it merely shows that though some of them are out of power, they remain the people controlling power. Many of the politicians today cannot be where they are without having gone to consult with the IBBs, the Oppressors of this world. So the military people are still in control, even though physically we see the face of people in civil, exactly. They are still in control. That shows it is not yet Uhuru.
So if IBB has come out to make confession, what more do you think it can do to satisfactorily gain, to satisfy people like you to say, okay, now he has made restitution, and yes, from this and this step that you have taken, you are forgiven. What again, after making this confession, do you think you can now do to satisfy or placate people to deserve forgiveness?
I think the minimum he can do is to say that I've made a confession. I deserve all the punishment, that is befitting, someone who scuttled the democratic aspiration of the Nigerian people, all the loot that he has acquired should be given up. And he should be ready to go to jail.
It looks like not many people have moved on from the way you speak, sir. I mean, I saw former President Goodluck Jonathan at the book launch. I saw Professor Yemi Osinbajo, a lawyer and Democrat. I saw President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I saw a lot of people there who already moved on. But it looks like quite a few of you have not necessarily moved on from the way you speak, sir. What are specific things that made you feel it should still be punished than rewarded? Because it's being rewarded now.
What we should understand is that those who are with IBB, they are all in the same class. They remain in the same class of the oppressors of the Nigerian people. That they are wearing agbada and the IBB was wearing military regalia. It does not make any fundamental difference. Their interests, political and economic, are the same. So they remain on the same side. The masses of the people, are not with IBB. IBB remains the hero of those who have benefited from him, economically or politically. For those disadvantaged, the masses of the people who are still groaning, who are politically and economically excluded, they can't forgive IBB. It's crowd, what Professor Olorede will call IBB crowd. Those are the people to whom IBB remains a hero.
Okay, so when a society rewards people like this and call him elder statesman, isn't it symbolic that that society is just trying to heal and harmonize and move on?
No, I think you are getting it wrong. It is not the society, that has forgiven him or calling him. It is not the society that is calling him, a statesman.
It's being rewarded now.
Crowd. It's his own crowd. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former vice president, Olusegun Obasanjo, Oshibajo, and all the rest, they do not represent the ordinary people who are in the majority. They represent the oppressors who are in the minority. They represent less than 1% of the Nigerian population. So we have the 1% of the Nigerian society, calling him statesman, a hero, and we have the 99% of the population who are aggrieved, who are angry, who are crying for justice.
So there are so many young Nigerians who look up to a few political figures in Nigeria, and whatever such persons say, they tend to see it as maybe authoritative statements or things that shape their opinions, their worldviews generally. So, for instance, in this generation, so many young people see a person like Mr. Peter Obi as a face and a voice that they can relate easily with, who they believe also carries their yearnings and aspirations. And they watched Mr. Peter Obi also say, oh, IBB was a very good person who helped to shape the economic pattern and future and visions for Nigeria and did so well, and that under him things were so fine. So for such young persons, would you not make them feel that, with your own view, that Mr. Peter Obi is not a messiah anymore? Or are you saying Mr. Peter Obi is also one of the beneficiaries? Because I do not think, young people do not think he benefited from them, but that he was just trying to make peace.
Well, I think my response would be that any young people should decide who his or her mentor would be. Young people should not look at the conventional politicians as their mentors. They should see them as the average politician should be seen as the enemy of the people. The young people should look at those who have been fighting, for the emancipation of the masses and who have refused to be part of the rot, as their own mentors. It's a choice. Do you want to, for individuals, do you want to join the politicians just because you cannot beat them? No. We should say, in spite of the difficulties, count me out of the rot. The politicians represent a ruinous class, not a ruling class, a class that wins. And young people should not be part and parcel of the ruinous class.
Lastly, for now, sir, what's the way forward? I mean, we still have so many people who have things to say. We have listened to IBB now. I haven't read the book, but I've read some comments about around it. I don't know if you have read it, but what would you say to those who also were in the past political leaders of the country, who you feel still have confessions to make, if you don't mind mentioning names, who's under whose watch certain things Nigerians should know now? And what's your view about writing books much later? For instance, IBB wrote his own 32 years later. What's your view about when a book should be written by those who have accounts to give?
Well, people should be free to write books and make conventions, but at the same time, they should be ready to bear the consequences of such conventions. Otherwise, I will call such people, I will say such people are merely shedding crocodile tears. They are not sincere. They are insincere. And for us, we should call on young people to stop looking up to the conventional politicians as the savior. They should see the conventional politician as the enemy of the people. They belong to the same category, whether they are in agbada or in military attire. They should not look up to those who have ruined this society. We should build political forces to support the struggles of workers, the struggles of young people, the struggles of students, the struggle for free education, the struggle for employment or unemployment allowance, and so on and so forth. We should build forces that will bring comfort to ordinary people, rather than following the footpaths of politicians, conventional politicians.
I must say thank you for your time, Barrister Femi Aborisade. Thank you so much for giving this time to respond to these questions today. And so that is a brief with Barrister Femi Aborisade today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll bring him another time when we have a crucial topic of national importance to discuss. I must say, at this point, everybody, please enjoy the rest of the day.